L, and he's going to use it as fuel, Jorby, which is why I expect a higher peak, a higher level performance here from Gen.G, and they are going to be hungry to get some revenge.
Well, look, you're talking about apparently Jack. He currently leads the league in goals scored, but also goals per game, averaging a goal per game and having almost 20 goals more than the next highest, which is First Killer in beast mode right behind him. So apparently Jack, he has been lethal ever since he moved to North America. But it's Torment who draws first blood on a Gen.G.
Yeah, we're getting an early goal from Torment, but this all started with beast mode. He won the 50-50. Then you get a bump play from beast mode, and Torment also does a little bit of a mind game, hits the brakes behind the ball, and forces the goalkeeper to dive a little bit earlier. And that's a great start for version 1 in this rematch. And I guess you're already seeing the aggression that version 1 are going to come out playing with. They've got that fire behind them. And for Gen.G, you've got to, like Subi said, keep your head on a swivel, know exactly when they're going to go for the bumps, know where they're positioning, and try to dodge them as best as you can.
You know, Gen.G aren't exactly I mean, they are a physical team, maybe obviously not as physical as a team like version 1. Gibbs kind of talked about on the desk how version 1 maybe weren't as demo heavy as they were in the last regional, but Gen.G absolutely have that. And apparently Jack is actually a big factor in that as well. A lot of times in their rotation, you'll see him just sit downfield, have full confidence in Nolly and Chronic to feed him the ball downfield. Yeah. Sometimes it catches rotations out where they're not really expecting. In beast mode, though, he picks up a demo. Gibbs kind of called beast mode out. He was averaging over 2 demos a game in the last regional, but in Swiss, averaged 0.9. And you know, we could talk about the physical game all day with these teams, but it's not just about how many demos you get. It's always about how effective they are.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really important that these teams aren't just relying on that demo playstyle as a crutch. I mean, you could come out here and solely try and rely on the physical gameplay, but the fact that they're pulling off when they need to and not always going for those demos and always hunting, I think that's very important, because if you try and put yourself in a corner to only utilize that playstyle, you're kind of trapping yourself. And for version 1, they don't want to do that. They need to implement it when it's natural in the rotation. And so far, I think they've done that rather well. Here's another demo from beast mode, and it's not breaking the rotation. He can get back into the play and smoothly rotate in with his teammates.
And Calm, he's sweeping across, tried to get another demo, but missed Nolly, and now Nolly swings out wide on the play. Jack called off by Chronic. He had no boost. Gen.G trying to get set up on offense here. It's another 50 from Nolly. Jack sitting behind him in the midfield. Get the next pass. Beast mode jumped a little early, but he recovers quickly and gets back to the touch.
Nolly gets a demo of his own. Chronic's looking for something creative from the corner. Baits out one defender. A very patient approach from version 1. They've always got one player behind each other. That safety net. Double commit from Abjack and Nolly. Not the most organized on offense, but the key here is keeping pressure, taking boost, trying to starve out version 1. So far, they've done a great job. You can expect maybe 1 or 2 extra opportunities. I mean, look at the speed from Chronic. That's got to set something up, but instead, denied by Calm. And then now Chronic gets taken out the field. Pressure alleviated, and it's a 2v1 situation. But quickly turn back the other way, and there's just so much chaos on the field. Torment free-flipped into that save.
Well, that earlier 50 almost put things on ice for version 1, and they still can't get out of defense. Calm able to get that touch, but Torment waits on the wall for apparently Jack, while Nolly waits for the rebound. And he's already up, but beast mode's got him beat. Calm not going to get to the touch. Gen.G able to stuff version 1 in the midfield line, but they're missing that quality shot. That one denied by beast mode. Apparently Jack another pass. Chronic's not denied. And there's that version 1 defense coming in again to keep the goal line clean.
Yep. And oftentimes, even right there, you'll see 3 players rotating through the net and to the far post. And that's just going to make it so much more difficult to put a shot on target, or at least a shot that'll go towards the goal line without dealing with a player from version 1 who's going to challenge you earlier. A demo from Abjack. And finally, version 1 can get this clear. They are up 1 goal. All they need to do is just wind the clock down, but with an extra minute remaining, and Gen.G pressing so hard on offense, we're not sure if it's possible quite yet.
Good booming clear is Chronic. Gonna get the rebound. And version 1 with beast mode, who has been effective on the last couple of defensive stands. He's gotten a couple of crucial demos to help stymie this offense from Gen.G. And look how fast he is to the 50s. Stuffs apparently Jack, but Calm isn't exactly ready for the 50. Torment still playing a lot of defense here. Jack first to the ball, underneath off the floor! Gen.G, another strike! The shot denied, 2 commit from version 1, but they get the clear and beast mode's downfield.
There's always an answer from version 1. There was one opportunity that Gen.G had off the crossbar, but Abjack in a 1v1, he gets the flick. Don't let this man get a 1v1 situation because you're gonna have to pay the price, and version 1 realized that now.
Torment stuck with 12 boost as apparently Jack just running down the field, and only so much you can do to try to cover the net. He turns to cover at least half of it and hopes he can flip back, but by that time, Jack's got him dead to rights. And just like that, at the end of regulation, Gen.G just may force overtime, but they've had a lot of the pressure since that first goal, and that one saved. Torment comes out of the net. Gen.G coming out of the third. Nolly stuffed by beast mode. Chronic back over to Nolly, found him. This play may die, but Nolly wants to play ball. Don't know if it's there. Torment says, well, if you're gonna let me have it,
keeping it up.
We'll let Calm give it to beast mode, and tried to feign the approach, but overtime it is.
No, credit where credit is due. Version 1, I think that one goal for Gen.G was definitely a slap in the face, and it woke them up. They're able to get and mount a couple of attacks on offense to look the best they have within those last 30 seconds. But it just felt like a matter of time, and now off the post, that shot certainly should have been a little bit more accurate, could have ended things early in this OT, but instead we play on.
The clear, Calm. Sees he's got 2 defenders in front of him. Chronic opts to not touch it, gives apparently Jack the easy clear. Force version 1 it back again. Torment only 10 in the tank. Beast mode comes to help him out. Calm with a full tank to receive Nolly, but Nolly wins the 50 and puts Gen.G back in the blue. And they get set up. A pass maybe to Jack, but it's not gonna happen. The 50 denies Gen.G the opportunity. Nolly does enough to stuff beast mode, but gives Calm an angle, and it's cut off again. A couple of close ones here for version 1 in terms of shot opportunities, but Gen.G always finding a way to slot in at the last second to take away.
Yeah, that rotation is picture perfect here for Gen.G. They're not slow, but speaking of slow, that's a slow challenge, but Abjack has him red, dives into the top corner, and I have no idea how Gen.G have kept this ball out of their own net. It seems like version 1 have one clear path, but there's one player rotating in right where you don't see him, and he can just in time get that free jump save.
Chronic leaving the corner. Apparently Jack gonna move with him downfield. Version 1 withstood the pressure. That one off the bar. Torment gets the clear. Beast mode coming in to prevent the rebound, but Jack gets the clear downfield. And it forces version 1 to play more defense. They've been close to their back wall for a lot of game number 1. Apparently Jack putting it up high. Torment back over to Calm for a quick transition. Classic version 1 right there. When you see Calm get up that quickly on the transition, you think about that counterattack play style that's worked so often for them as Torment puts the ball back over to the side for Calm. Beast mode gets the kick and trying to beat apparently Jack over the corner.
I'm just a little bit concerned with version 1's rotations. I mean, they're playing so deep into their own half, Jorby, and you understand why. They've been stuck in this half the entire time, and they have to have somebody on the backboard like that for beast mode, but that is going to make your counterattacks a little bit weaker if every single player, especially that third man, is so deep in your own half, and you're going to give away a lot of space, too, if you're not winning challenges and matching the speed of Gen.G.
Good pass here from Chronic. Torment's up for the ball. This freezes Calm on the back wall. He's got to basically jump down and hope he's in the right spot for the read, but it's apparently Jack who has the advantage, and he puts it right on his backside. Gen.G take game 1.
It looked like a really uncomfortable spot, too, for beast mode. I'd love to take another look at the replay when we see him in the highlights, but for the most part, I was on beast mode's camera, and he was in the corner looking for a better challenge. It just simply slipped out and might have gotten bumped. And for Gen.G, the timing, the execution, the way they're moving this ball in the half of version 1 is just slightly more efficient than that of version 1. Abjack, of course, you remember that 19-second flick into the right side. That was crucial for them. And once that goal went in, you expected to see, of course, the passion and the pop-off for Abjack, but you expected to see him finally get what they were looking for. They were knocking on the door the whole time. Version 1 forced to play all that defense, Jorby.
And not for lack of effort from version 1. There was a lot of
there were chances
early in the series, or early in the game, they were trying to get demos. Like Calm and Beast Mode were both swiping across the net, but Gen.G kept dodging and they couldn't actually get enough to get that second goal. That 2-goal stretch, I mean, was so important for them because, I mean, eventually Gen.G, they never gave up possession after like halfway through the game.
Well, it's really interesting too because version 1, they got their first goal off of the aggressive bump play, and that was early in game 1, and maybe that was immediately a reminder to Gen.G what they're going to have to deal with, and that means the rest of the game they were able to adapt and be prepared for when those bumps and those demos would come through, and they've done a good job of being aware of where every single player from version 1 is trying to rotate. And for me, I think it's still the same issue. It's hard for version 1 because of how deep they're playing. That would have been a wide open opportunity, but Nolly got more of a piece of it than he wanted.
Sometimes that happens with Gen.G where, you know, one too many touches or they end up tying each other up because blast that away, Jack! A massive fake to send the ball up, but version 1 have the angles covered. Jack comes again. Torment. It's the lion's share of that challenge. Now he heads downfield looking for Beast Mode.
Wow.
Left the floor before that touch happened. Which is happening.
Free jump too.
It's less and less. It's almost less and less special these days because the teams are so good at reading each other, like their teammates, that they know. All right, I'm just going to jump up for this. I'm going to be able to recorrect my path, or he's going to be able to put it on my nose. There's just so much faith. You're not seeing like 1 or 2 standout players pre-jump anymore. You're seeing some pretty close pre-jumps all over the place these days.
Well, especially if you have the right amount of boost. I mean, you talk about correction. If you're going to pre-jump, oh man, another opportunity interrupts me. That one was wide open, not necessarily wide open for Jack, but a good opportunity. He had a shooting lane, but just didn't get a good piece of it. Accuracy plaguing Gen.G. However, you can't be too sad about it because of all this pressure you've been able to apply. You just want to get one to show for it, Torment.
Ooh, he missed the double, and Nolly, who had avoided a bump in midfield, got the midfield boost, almost created that scoring opportunity because of it. But that pass risky.
Wow.
Chronic made it work. Back. Oh
my goodness.
Jack's got a wide open net, and Nolly is just trying to help his boy Jack out. Another goal.
And they're making use of all this space. Look at how deep Com is playing. You've got Nolly cheating up. Abjack comes in as that third man who does steal the goal. It would have been a nice passing play between Nolly and Chronic. But regardless, get everybody involved, get the whole team moving forward. And for Gen.G, they get the first goal.
Nolly, it's a hard pass from Chronic. Beat the defender, and that's all that matters. Beast Mode. Gonna get another touch. Version 1, since the opening minute, they've been shut down. They have not been able to generate a lot of offense. A lot of it came in that early minute. I think it was 7 shots on net, and 5 of them, I think, came within that 4-minute, or the first minute, rather. As Com gonna come down, might get another good shot and taken away. Beast Mode, high ball, and it's gonna go back over. Gen.G will happily take the clear as Chronic gets set up and waits for how version 1 approach. Do move around. Com able to whip the wall ball laterally, but that's all they really get, Turtle.
It feels like the second man in rotation for version 1, at least in my opinion, is a little bit slower. You know, you'll have somebody like Beast Mode or Com flying forward, and they'll win a challenge, or maybe they'll just do everything by themselves. Com, from his own end, gets the flip reset and doesn't even need the help of his teammates.
Oh, it's so good from Com. Jack even throws the nice shot in chat. Couldn't get back up to it on the spawn. Only had so much boost. Do what you can, but Com, excellent control.
Yeah.
And a beautiful equalizer.
I was questioning the second man, but if you don't even need to use him, then more power to you, Com. Lovely mechanics with a flashy play of his own.
Ooh, Chronic. Thought maybe he had more net to shoot at there as last man, but went for control. Nolly coming off the corner of the ceiling. It's not going to work for him. Version 1. Torment looks for a demo, but the ball's headed the other way. Gets stuck in the back wall again. It's where version 1 got stuck a lot in game number 1. Gen.G aren't there to push them. They're happy to control midfield as Chronic takes it again. Jack gonna play close to him as second man. Following in is Nolly, but he can't go. Just sees Torment and Com. Com racing to bump him, and that's forced Nolly off the play. Now Jack in an awkward spot. Chronic has to make the touch.
Wow.
He does, but still across, and Jack makes a great read. He was moving pretty fast for that. His timing had to be good, and it was.
That was one of the best looks we've seen out of version 1, though. It felt like everybody was a lot tighter on the rotation. You saw Torment and Com were similarly positioned, but just spaced out enough to where they could capitalize on a play if Calm did win that challenge. And for me, that's where version 1 are going to shine the best, is when they're staying a little bit closer to each other. I don't like how deep the rotations have been. I think that getting more aggressive is going to benefit them. And you can see now the second man comes in from Torment. That was a good shot opportunity. Beast Mode's going to take the corner boost, and they are starving out Gen.G. You expect opportunities to come the way of version 1 with all this pressure.
And that last save from Chronic, he had to avoid a bump again. Gen.G, they're still having to keep their cameras swiveling for how version 1 are moving around them, but they have not blinked at all. And they're holding firm. Maybe another overtime. Gen.G moving across. Another transition for version 1 in the works, though. Beast Mode.
Big 50.
Drills through on 150.
Going down.
Jack and Nolly both commit. That's one more touch for Calm. He's got boost to chase, but Jack beats him to it. And Torment trying to prevent the turnaround. It's off the backboard. Beast Mode puts it on the ground.
Beast Mode, clinical positioning. Had to deny that one. Otherwise, you could surely expect to see a double tap. This is a big kickoff win, though, for Jack. Almost got a 50-50 follow-up. But it's going to be saved from Beast Mode as we go into another overtime, Jorby.
Chronic trying to stop version 1. Now Nolly and Appjack working together in the back wall. Looking for a 50. He doesn't need one. End up chipping Calm on his way down. Gen.G start to press a little bit. Everyone beyond the midfield line. 50 doesn't work out. That pushes Nolly backwards and Jack to come in to support. He gets that first touch. Torment and Calm both waiting for Gen.G in that clear. They give it to Beast Mode, as they so often love to do, but not much he can do, so he'll take the demo and the boost, and he might create this play on his own. Bumps Jack out of the way, said, I don't want the ball, I want Jack off the field, and he's still getting harassed. Torment tries to keep it going, but Gen.G, again, do not blink. Their eyes have been open the whole time.
And it's been a bloodbath on the field. I think that Gen.G getting a demo of their own helps alleviate as much pressure as you can. Beast Mode's still hunting for demos. Calm still looking for something. He does get it. He sniffs him out, and there's going to be space created for Beast Mode, who gets a flip reset, then the bump follow-up, but there's still somebody there in position, regardless of the pressure, regardless of the bumps, and regardless of those flip resets from Beast Mode, and now they can transition. Gen.G, Relentless.
Oh, Chronic got on the side of the ball. Nolly's coming up. That's got to be hard to read as a defender, but Torment still flies in to get the save.
Oh, double
demos from Torment.
You think
Chronic
got
got seized on the play. Torment made contact with all 3 players. Or not Torment, I think Beast Mode got that second chip. But either way, it doesn't matter. They still don't blink. And I remember casting with the Chiefs last week when Gen.G played FaZe. You know what it was, Turtle? It's the layers. Ian, you talked about it. There's always someone in position in the net. You demo 2 people, you bump Chronic, well, that's too bad. It wasn't enough. You apparently have to demo all 3 of Gen.G. Here comes Nolly trying to force Beast Mode off the ball, and he might just have done it, but it comes right back down. Gen.G trying to keep the offense going. Torment, he lost it! Goal!
Early on in this challenge, here comes Appjack. He knows exactly what Torment wants to do and sees Nolly going in, follows quickly off that challenge, and then can snipe it right out of his hands. What a heads-up play from Appjack. After they both got demoed, 2 players were out of the play. Chronic gets the save. They move up 1 opportunity, and that's all it takes to end the OT. How do you shake this Gen.G offense and defense, Jorby?
It's crazy how you can. It feels like you're doing everything right. It feels like you're moving around the pitch pretty well. You're winning good challenges. You're getting the demos. The chances are there, but it's Gen.G. Literally, they're like a non-Euclidean geometry. It just seems to go on forever. The layers.
Yeah.
And like for version 1, you gotta have this timeout and just kind of settle down. And like, how do you get by a team that is so? Clutch is the wrong word, but they're just so consistent on the back wall and in front of the goal line, and avoiding the efficient demos that version 1 try to get. They're just playing like the better team right now. They're outplaying them.
That's the main thing, Jorby, is consistency. And demos are obviously the most impactful and the most efficient when you can take out a player and, maybe their rotations from their teammates aren't perfectly on point and the timing isn't exactly correct. So that's going to allow you to take as much advantage of that demo and that extra space. But it's interesting. Gen.G, not only are they consistent with their rotations, but they also have this idea in the back of their mind, I feel like, when they're in the net, when they're rotating to the far post, they're aware, okay, if a demo comes out, I know that I need a challenge immediately. I know exactly how to rotate forward, and basically they just sound the alarms. A demo comes through from version 1, and they immediately challenge. They don't waste any time giving space to version 1. They don't waste any time getting back into rotation, and that is the key for Gen.G, being able to adapt, recover, and truly, their damage control department on defense, Jorby, it's some of the best, if not the best in North America right now against version 1.
And version 1, they were able to play great defense themselves. I don't want to make it sound like Gen.G are the only ones playing good defense. Version 1 kept this a 1-1 game, and they had a lot of great stops themselves. But they just don't have the same. They don't have the same possession that Gen.G do. Like Gen.G are conducting this game, and version 1 just kind of have to bounce along to the rhythm. They get a couple of transitions, right? Classic version 1 will play a bunch of defense and then score on transition, but sans that calm solo effort down the field, which only happened because Appjack had just spawned and was in an awkward spot. Like, those are the only opportunities they're getting, and they're few and far between.
Well, now it feels like we are testing version 1 to see just how sharp their offensive sword is. You've got to use and score primarily off of those solo plays. Think about what has worked for version 1, a good kickoff here for Gen.G as we get back into the action. Version 1, what has worked in this series so far? Pretty much it has just been the mechanics and those solo plays. 1v1s are crucial in this series and in this matchup for version 1, and they are getting tested on if they have that firepower. We know they do. They've got beast mode on the other field. They just need to utilize him, and he needs to step up in this series and take charge.
Well, here's an insane stat for you, Turtle. At the start of this series, Gen.G came in as, hang on a second.
He doesn't care about stats.
Who cares about stats? I killed my fucking in front of my eyes, bro. Look at him get the first touch. It's beautiful. He's got the reset. Torment, good luck, bro. He turns off, and that's the best position the Torment can sit. But it doesn't matter. Apparently, Jack had the advantage. He had the reset. He had the boost. He had the power. He got the goal.
Dorby, they don't care about us. They don't care about the stats. All they care about is taking this dub. And Gen.G, the 1v1s, the passing plays, the defensive rotations, it's all there. It's all connecting. And now they're transitioning yet again. Appjack is trying to take some boost. He's trying to mess with Torment and be annoying with him. It's not going to work, but they're still looking to mount something on the offensive side. Now, Jordan, we got some time. What was the crazy stat? I want to hear it. You pulled me in. I got to hear it now.
I was going to say, going into this series, that Gen.G, as a team, had 100% assisted goals. And then the only goal that went unassisted, other than the one we just saw, was the very first goal of game number 1. And no other team is even close to that kind of participation. And then they link up again. It's Jack to Nolly. Connection secured.
Seems like at this point they can do it all. They can hit the solo plays. They can take you out with some demos. And they can also connect some passes from the corner. All the fundamentals flowing flawlessly for Gen.G. How will version 1 stop the bleeding? They need to respond soon. Otherwise, they might be dealing with a match point Gen.G.
Don't forget about Chronic, who set that whole play up for Jack winning that 50. Gen.G got aggressive. And Gen.G very good at holding. You heard it Chiefs talk about how he feels like Gen.G are the best defense in North America. And while version 1, they may have got him the first time around.
Yeah.
He doesn't think that they were going to do it again, and I think we're kind of seeing that right now. In every single game that Gen.G score first, they're 6-0. For version 1, though, including the first 2 games.
Ooh, that's good from Calm.
5-3, and maybe they can start to come back and push it, but Beast Mode loses the 50. You saw Torment, he was hoping for something a little lighter. Now he gets deleted, but nothing there for Gen.G. They pull off. It just seems to be the frustration. They know when to pull off. They know when to push.
Yeah. Well, it's such a frustrating game for version 1 because I don't think by any means version 1 are playing bad. There's opportunities that they're creating. I mean, we just saw Calm do something quite creative off the ceiling by himself to set up a pass, but when it comes to having your teammates ready, they're not able to capitalize. Beast mode, that double tap is just slightly off. Speaking about capitalizing, that backboard was wide open. A good chance wasted, and version 1 are going to want another shot at it.
Version 1 aren't even getting the bounces. It's just coming right back out to Gen.G. Constantly having to retreat. Beast Mode doesn't have enough boost. This is going to be a typical 50 for him. But you know what? They were expecting you to touch the ball.
What is going on? What is going on here,
every
though?
Now and again. Nolly coming up. When they get to the midfield line, even when it looks a little messy. Chronic, he misses it off the bar. Jack pass in front. Chronic back over to Jack. He misses the touch. Beast Mode hoping that he could get out. He goes to the ceiling, but Chronic's got him clean beat. He's not thinking about the ceiling. He's thinking about the ball. And there's another 50 for Calm. Every single one of them taken away. Jack gonna sit real close. Back over to Calm. Nolly gonna sit on the wing. Not gonna commit just yet, but he saw Calm hit the floor, and now he goes. Tap over. Gen.G pulled off on the rotation.
Genji are trying to play keep away, run this clock down. They've got the safety of that extra goal. Even if version 1 finds something here. Not going to be tied up quite yet. A good 50-50 goes in the midfield, and just look at the reaction, the recovery for which team can respond after a 50-50 goes neutral. There's always a player from Genji in that position to follow up, but I can't say the same about version 1.
The velocity on Genji's passing is insane. It's got to be so hard to defend when I mean, they're connecting on 80% of them. Yeah. That one back wall is fairly available for.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
Even there, the pass denied. Chronic was right in position for it. Jack gonna sit back. Starting to work for version 1. Excuse me. But the double commit might put them in a good spot, but no, they get the recovery. Chronic pinches it back. Calm is forced to push the ball down.
Torment.
Maybe Torment gets the flick out, but the rest, Calm and Beast Mode, they were both playing behind Torment. Nobody was out wide for that ball.
Exactly.
So they were going to have to catch up. They got to react to how Gen.G are playing Target.
Well, and that's what's been happening a lot is you'll have one player like Torment in that situation was forward, and this might be a disaster. Torment can get the save. That was going in to his own net from Beast Mode's accidental touch. The final 10 seconds are upon us. This ball off the corner. Version 1, they need to score. They do. There is a chance. 5 seconds left, and they just might be able to force a game win if they can do some magic in the last 5 seconds.
Such a massive read from Calm. He goes straight for the dunk. He knows there's no time left. That was, I'm going to jump, and if I get it, maybe we get something.
Oh, what a
maybe
kickoff.
We don't.
What a kickoff.
It works out well, but look how fast Chronic is. He doesn't get the touch. Beast Mode just gave Torment a chance at the ball. Calm coming in.
The fake.
Oh, the fake. But Beast Mode's got to be there. Keep it in the air. He got it off the ramp. Torment got the full boost. And Chronic kills the ball.
Oh, no, the bounce. The bounce.
That ramp has ruined so many games.
What?
Torment scores! They do it again at 0 seconds.
What is this bounce? Gifted from the gods of Rocket League. Abjack goes up, thinks Calm is gonna get a touch. Nothing comes out, and they're able to tie it up. A miracle for version 1.
Everything could flip right here for version 1. If they could complete the comeback and get the win here in overtime. Chronic, Nolly in front. Tried to get the double touch out. Didn't want to give it right back to Calm. Now Jack can't get it. Chronic. Touch out.
Oh, fake.
Calm. Blowing it down. As aggressive as if Gen.G have been on the challenges. Now he's pushing forward. And version 1 start getting control of the midfield.
Got some
shot.
hype now in their step. You can see the way they're moving, the confidence, Jorby.
Emo?
After getting that goal. Beast Mode. Okay, flip reset, potentially with a demo. And look at the difference we're seeing out of version 1. They are all over this defense of Gen.G.
I can't even imagine the endorphins that come after you score a 0-second goal when you're down 2-0 in a series and you know that coming back from 0-3 is likely not going to happen. Beast Mode trying to dunk, but Chronic ain't going to let it happen. A powerful touch to the side. Torment forced to respond on defense now as Nolly carries it. Jack's not going to find it, and Chronic denied as Torment gets in front on the 50. Calm loses his boost. Beast Mode has to stay flat. Now he gets on the wall and gets a massive clear for version 1.
Here we go. We're gonna have to see how Gen.G can react. There's some space, very deep rotations, but Gen.G don't opt to go for a dribble. Maybe they're panicking themselves. There's been space created, and now Abstract is alone. He does get the flick out. Very panicked pressure applied from version 1. Gen.G haven't collapsed in the OT, but certainly those last 5 seconds were something that they're not too proud about, Jorby.
Well, that touch just gave it up to Calm. Beast Mode's gonna swing in behind him. Torment gonna play midfield.
Go. There's space.
It's the demo. Beast Mode gets the 50. The Chronic is gonna find Nolly on the side wall. Transition for Gen.G. Back to Chronic. Chronic towards the net. Oh! Chronic with a massive double tap. The game is on match point.
It doesn't matter if you get scored on with a buzzer beater. If the bounces don't go your way, you will make and create your own luck here. Gen.G, the double tap off the backboard. Chronic sends us to the end of that OT and also sends us to match point.
You got to feel gutted if you're version 1 there. You had such
could have been the
all the momentum heading into that overtime. But Gen.G, they hang on, and we saw it at the start of that overtime, Turtle. You saw it, you were pointing it out about how much more energy was in that version 1 attack. They pulled out all the stops in that overtime, but they couldn't break through Gen.G.
Oh man, and just looking at some of these replays, sometimes you'll see a player from version 1, like in that previous one, Beast Mode just looked a little bit lost, and maybe it comes down to the confidence, not hesitating, and of course the double tap from Chronic with the hype, the pop off from him. But it looks like there's just moments where version 1, they're a little bit lost. But you're right, when we got into that overtime, the confidence that was there, the lack of hesitation was there. They were fully committing to every single challenge they needed to be. But one counterattack, one double tap, that changes everything. But you still can hold your heads high. You were able to force an OT, Jorby. You can build off that. The only problem is now you've got to get a reverse sweep and a best of 7.
No one needs to know how likely that is. Apparently, Jack, not going to get the touch. Calm has been great in that first man roll, and apparently Jack, he got stuck. I think someone put sticky glue on his wheels. He couldn't get off the wall.
And I think version 1, they're hungry, they're mad. Abject, the sticky glue comes out. A little bit of a frustrating play from him. Backflip as soon as he went off of that backboard. Version 1, okay. They forced that OT, unfortunately didn't win it, but they can come out in the next game swinging.
Beast Mode hoping for a read, but Chronic could see him the whole way. You know, Beast Mode just covering the high option. That'll make the low challenges a little easier for version 1 in case Chronic does go underneath him. Just not able to mix it up against these challenges. You did see them start to mix it up at the end of the last game, version 1 I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they still, most of these 50s, most of the challenges, Gen.G's just in the better position. Now, Beast Mode's winning a couple, and he misses that touch. I feel like you need a pop-off Beast Mode in this game.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get by Gen.G, and that's a touch that caliber of player usually comes up with.
Well, and you know, you heard the Des talking about it a lot with this version 1 offense. They don't need to only rely on Beast Mode, but whenever you're up against this Gen.G that's playing so fundamentally well, and the rotations are so sound and complete, the demos aren't knocking them off their feet. The thing that has worked has been the creative plays, of course. You know, Calm, the flip reset by himself. We've seen a couple of solo attempts from Beast Mode, but they need him right now more than ever to go Super Saiyan. This is where Beast Mode needs to be utilized and where he needs to come through with some double tap opportunities, anything creative to create space.
But I mean, think about how many times Beast Mode has come online. What's that on the heels of? It's Calm facilitating that offense. It's him getting efficient demos, or effective demos, excuse me. And while version 1 have gotten some demos, they haven't gotten the effective demos. So if he's not opening the door for Beast Mode, like, is he going to be the same caliber of player?
I mean, I certainly agree that there is a duo there with Calm and Beast Mode, but that doesn't mean that Beast Mode can't create opportunities himself out of thin air. There's been moments where he has some space, but that ball has just been kicked to the other side, and I do agree. There's definitely a balance, but right now it feels too in favor of Calm.
Beast Mode drops down, looks for a bump himself. Maybe he facilitates here for Calm. They've done many times as well. Gen.G, you know, they can hold on to this 1-goal lead for a long time. It was the 17-second mark that Gen.G scored in game 1 to tie it up, and then eventually win in a 2-minute-plus overtime. Version 1, they've got great pressure here. It's not the same story as game 1 where they couldn't get out of their own half, but here comes apparently Jack!
Oh, come on.
Oh, taken out. Torment comes in. Version 1 build their own layers.
This looks like the best version 1 we have seen in quite some time. Obviously, thinking about the incredible moves they were making down the field just before we got into OT to tie it up. Now that spark has ignited them yet again in this game. They are playing quite an incredible amount of defense, but solo play effort from Torment is going to force a better 50-50. A nice follow-up from Calm, and maybe we can start to see more pressure out of version 1.
Nolly, he's out of boost, but both Jack and Chronic are looking pretty good in that department. It's going to be tough if you can't start starving this Gen.G squad. And there, around the corner. They're not, now version 1 aren't winning every 50 in midfield, but look at Calm, sit downfield, tries to plant his flag under Nolly. Oh, and Nolly wins a big 50. Beast Mode was playing optimistically. Torment wasn't playing the loss to him, and that blue version 1's rotation apart. Apparently Jack, another boomer. This time Beast Mode's in position for
Here we
it.
go.
Here comes Beast Mode. Calm, got the call. He's still got control. Calm, on the reset, off the bar, and Chronic saves it.
Oh man, that would have been ridiculous. Reacted and recovered in the air to get that. Now he's getting bumped out the way. Gen.G, they saw the fantasy plays Calm was capable of, and they decided just to take him out and punch him out the way.
Nolly called the doctor and gave Calm a bit of his own medicine.
Oh man.
That one's gotta hurt. Calm played that one well, but it doesn't matter when nose hits the carriage. Jack gonna push the ball back out, and just like last time, in the final minute, Gen.G find a way to tie it, and whew.
Oh, a double commit too. There's some space for Abjack. Yeah, 2 players committed out of version 1. Good recovery from Torment. However, he's gonna clear to nobody moving forward because of that double commit. And for version 1, Jorby, this has been a roller coaster of a series. Your emotions so high. You get opportunities. You don't score sometimes, but in this situation, Calm is gonna strike well.
Apparently Jack gets smoked in the net on this demo. Chronic gets deleted. Jack can't see the ball anymore, and Calm gets a great shot.
Yeah.
Still a great spot for apparently Jack to sit, but that power from Calm was just too much.
The timing was there with the demo, perfectly associated with when Calm would go for that shot, take out the goalkeeper. Shot comes through. Routine stuff for version 1. Gen.G, first time their backs truly against the wall. And they're looking at taking a loss here within the last 12 seconds unless Abjack can make something out of nothing.
But Beast Mode actually flips and recovers. It's Calm. It's the next 50. No more time left. Are we gonna see another one? Nolly sets it up. Jack not in position for it, and he's out of boost. It's gotta be Chronic. He's got it off the ramp with 7. Nolly, no boost. Jack, a full tank with that
Back
50.
down.
Will not bounce on the ramp, and version 1 will not get swept.
Huge from version 1. So many teams with how that last game went down and played out would have honestly mentally checked out in this game, especially knowing that they have to get a reverse sweep in a best of 7. But version 1, they are resilient. They are very tough to crack, and they are not obviously going to go down without a fight, regardless of what they're up against. And it was a different game for them. This felt much more consistent. We saw some double commits here and there, but whenever they got on offense, those opportunities like that right there, the timing was much more clinical and on point versus when they'd go for demos previously in other games, Jordan.
Yeah, they weren't getting outshot. Well, I mean, they did get outshot, but not by a wide margin, and the possession game wasn't 100% Gen.G. I think that helped version 1 just settle down a lot. It's got to be stressful to constantly have to rotate. Like, you can't even go for the midfield boost sometimes, right? You just got to go from your third, and you're on small pad duty for a minute plus until you finally get it clear. But then you got to work again because Gen.G have all of the resource that's on the field.
Right.
Turtle, sometimes all it takes is one.
All it takes is one. The curse has been lifted.
Maybe they start off with a goal here. They've done that a couple of times.
I mean,
but they've only won one of them so far.
We saw what happens and the difference it makes when version 1 are playing, obviously with more confidence and just going for a lot more opportunities than maybe they would previously because they're not hesitating as much. And now that they have that one win under their belt, we could see them develop and expand on what was previously working for them and got them that initial win. See what Beast Mode has. Doesn't offer too much forward. And we've got Gen.G, a double commit, but maybe it was planned as they now are forced to both rotate back and deal with Torment.
Yeah, I've seen Gen.G do that one a lot. Oh, Beast Mode had to beat Nolly with the ball. Nolly recovers. Gets back with a great clear. But I've definitely seen Gen.G line that up where they land their undercarriage on the car, or on the ball, excuse me. But the other player comes up to shoot it. I think every single one of those is intentional. That's got to be difficult to read when you're trying to set up as a defender for the reset. But then they're basically banking on you not paying attention to the guy flying up right behind him to take the shot. It can be disorienting if you don't exactly see the pitch in front of you or you've been playing a lot of defense. It's a great mix-up call from Gen.G. I like it.
They always try and mix things up. Haven't seen too many solo plays from Abjack. He is forced to deal with 3 players from version 1 in that corner. But that's what was working as well for Gen.G, were those solo plays where Abjack would get behind the ball. Torment's going to pull that same strategy that you were talking about, where 2 players commit and one opts to fake it instead. Doesn't go in favor of version 1. And we've got a bit of a kickball. I think both teams have leveled out here. We're not seeing one dominate the other. It seems like a much more mixed and well-rounded battle for possession, Jordan.
Beast Mode's got to settle down, though. Hit that pass over to Calm, and then he ended up hitting his teammate, continuing on with the ball. Torment, his last lick of boost. Trying to keep version 1 in play in the midfield. Beast Mode again against Chronic. Torment's got the read.
Fast.
Jack's already rotated and avoided Beast Mode. 50 out, but nobody from version 1's there.
A lot of speed from version 1. Look at Beast Mode go. Forcing Nala to use a lot of boost. And you've got Calm in a solid position. Flip reset opportunity. Doesn't find a connection. The way it looks good. Big clear down the other end. This is what I was talking about, Jorby. Not one team could hold on to too much pressure, too much possession. Defense is coming through, and a disaster with the rotations from version 1. 2 players in the same spot. One jumped up. It's Torment, who couldn't get a connection, and Tom had already jumped as well.
Torment just shouldn't have turned. He saw Chronic there in the corner, and he's thinking it's going to come down straight. He's thinking, I can play this ball as it hits the ground. I can play it up to the sidewall.
Wow.
He wasn't anticipating the double touch. He's already got Calm there, like you said. And then he looks silly for jumping for it on that double touch. The net's wide open. You got to be the one to be a little more patient. And Torment, who is usually the picture of patience on the defensive line, that one uncharacteristic from him as Jack moves it across to the opposite corner.
And there's definitely a lot of layers with that mistake. I mean, there could have been a situation where Calm communicates poorly and tells him that he doesn't have it. Torment off the crossbar right in front of the net. After just committing that mistake, he comes out on offense and can't find his mark.
And a demo again. Calm, this is it.
This
just
gotta
right
be
around
it.
Nolly. The 50 just goes straight back up to Nolly, who never left the backboard. Beast Mode, the touch goes too wide. He just hasn't had the same control. He lost an earlier one like that, and then had to give up possession. Version 1, not really their cleanest series.
Oh, man.
Torment missing not just that save earlier, but also the game-tying goal. Torment pops it across, and can he Beast Mode?
Not there.
No, he can't turn it.
Of course, I'm questioning the mental now for Torment. He's had a solid series so far, but in this game alone, he's created a lot of issues for his own team. Maybe he can get some revenge and at least try to redeem himself on offense. He's alone on defense, dealing with 2 players jumping up for the same ball. Now Nolly's going for a bump. He connects, and they make it 2-0. Gen.G up.
Torment knows that it's coming. You see it yesterday as they're coming towards you. Nolly comes straight up. Torment, he leaves the wall. He doesn't want to jump early. That'll make the trajectory easy for Nolly to read. He has to stay planted on that back wall. He doesn't want to get demoed. He also wants to make the save, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Gen.G, massive second goal.
But we know what version 1 are capable of. They were in a similar situation, down 2 goals. They scored one with 5 seconds left and managed to get the second one and keep the ball alive. Will they be able to do it again here? It was a miracle before, but of course we've seen several miracles in the RLCS, and that was almost another one.
Dude, Calm came flying in for a bump. Beast Mode, or Torment sets it up perfectly. Like, everything went right there for version 1, and then the shot's still denied. Chronic gets in the way. You take away the layers, but there's always one more. This time, Jack pops out from underneath and picks up another save. Gen.G, are they solidifying the victory here with 13 seconds left? Another flick. Jack's there for the save. In the corner, Jack's there on the 50. That's just time off the clock. They get 1!
All right, they've got an extra second. Torby, they've got an extra second too. This is all signs of life for version 1. A good 50-50 all the way over to Beast Mode. And now let's see how this kickoff goes. Their kickoff before was so strategic, it went right back into that third man waiting. We'll see how it unfolds.
Boosts. And it goes back to Torment. He's looking for Beast Mode.
Beast Mode,
connects back to Torment. Shot with no seconds on the clock. Torment gets the catch. He got the pop. Chronic hits the touch. Nolly waits there. That forced him to hesitate. That little hesitation. Centimeters of difference. And Gen.G take down version 1. They get revenge the opposite way with a 4-1 victory.
The Fall Cup Grand Finals rematch. And like you said, redemption, revenge for Gen.G. Such a painful loss for version 1 in the quarterfinals. They had so many opportunities, so many chances. You feel for Torment specifically in this game where He just was unfortunately unable to find his mark and get that accuracy that he was looking for. But that is not the same story for Gen.G, excuse me. Every time they were presented with an opportunity, Jorby, they would make full use of it.
And it was such a good performance from Gen.G in so many of their games. They look like one fluid machine. Yep. And
that
one.
Why did they have to slow it down?
Even though Genji looks so good, slow it down. They're really insulting Torment with that.
They really did my man dirty with the slowdown.
Hey Torment, at least they didn't show you the previous save that you missed. That's okay.
Oh man. Oh man.
Feeling great, popping off on the cams, and despite the chances that version 1 missed, most they didn't have any. Genji prevented most chances that version 1 did have, and it took till the end of multiple games for them to get it figured out. Turtle, there was nothing left for them. Version 1 are done, and I don't care what you have to say. We can talk. We can talk later. Wait, you want to kick off? Wait, what do you want to say? Doesn't matter.
No.
The best match of the day is coming. The best match of the day is coming. G2 versus Complexity after the break. Production, roll it.